This is News 3 on your side at 11.
Good evening, I'm Russ Riesinger.
And I'm Tina Tyus-Shaw. Thanks for joining us. A man standing trial for shooting two men in Ardsley Park learns his fate.
It took a jury just 2.5 hours to find Desmond Antonio Hunter guilty in the shootings of Jason Statz and Dave Williams. The men were visiting a friend in Ardsley Park when they were shot on June 28th. Authorities arrested Hunter and Ashimer Don Shay Johnson in connection with the crime. Johnson agreed to testify against Hunter for exchange for a lesser sentence. On tonight's 3 on Your Side Crime and Safety Report, this has been an emotional day for the victims and their families. They've been in the courtroom since that trial started earlier this week, and they were there today for the verdict.
And News 3's Tukwin Mock is joining us now with more on the final day of the trial. So, Tukwin, what happened after the verdict?
Well, Tina and Russ, the penalty phase started immediately after the verdict was read, with both the victims and their families giving statements for the judge to consider before sentencing. Dave Williams was injured in the shooting. He told the court his injuries prevented him from working. He also couldn't collect unemployment because he wasn't able to find a job and currently has no income. Jason Statz was left paralyzed after the shooting and will likely be confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Statz and his wife told the court how their lives have changed since the shooting.
Basically, I can't do anything that I used to do in the way that I used to do it. I used to be able to play music, used to be able to draw, used to be able to paint, used to be able to do collages, used to be able to put on my own pants, put on my own shirts, my own shoes.
We've had to pay for medical treatment for Jason, as well as equipment, which we will continue to pay for the rest of our lives. Basically, our lives were totally turned upside down. And what Desmond Hunter did to my husband, we will never do the same again.
Now, after hearing all the statements from the victims and their families, Judge Michael Karff sentenced Hunter to life in prison for the armed robbery charge. He will have to serve at least 30 years of that sentence before he's eligible for parole. Hunter also received 5 years for lesser charges plus probation. Judge Karff explained his reasons for the punishment, and after the sentencing, Lyra Statz talked about how this was a tragedy for all the families involved, including Hunter's.
In my estimation, the evidence in this case was overwhelming and compelling. The defendant completely refused to accept any responsibility. It's a grievous case. It deserves serious punishment. He's a clear present danger to any of the citizens in this community if he were to be released anytime soon. He has little, if any, regard for human life. We can't afford to have him on the street.
It's a really sad thing to have to go through, and we're sorry that We're just sorry that there are people like that who will do those things, and that they have to be involved in our lives. And we're glad that he won't be able to do that to anyone else.
Now, if Hunter ever gets out of prison and is able to find work, the judge also ordered him to pay more than $200,000 in restitution to the families. Tukwin Mock, WSAV News 3.